Welcome back to this week's episode of Mining the Comments. This week, we'll discuss speed bumps, why we should not only look forward to them, but even embrace them. This week's question comes from Petra. She writes, could you talk about speed bumps? I go through weeks of sleeping relatively well, and then a setback comes along and often feel disheartened. I don't have much of a fear response. I feel calm and relaxed most of the time while awake late at night. But I'd like to know how maybe not to overreact when a speed bump appears. Thank you. Petra, thank you for the question. And this is incredibly common. Not only did I deal with this personally, but the immunity calls that we do on a weekly basis, we get this question quite a bit. So it's incredibly common for this to happen. And understandably so, I felt the same way where I felt like if I was sleeping great, especially in my case, sometimes it was weeks or maybe even months, and all of a sudden a speed bump comes along. I felt completely defeated. I felt like I was going to start all over again from step one, right? But the truth is, it's really not a setback. As a matter of fact, it truly is an opportunity. The brain has gone through something very traumatic and difficult, and so it's trying to avoid going through anything difficult or scary, right? First of all, we perceived wakefulness as a fear, as a threat. The subconscious is alert, hyper aroused, and is constantly monitoring our environment, right? So once we start retraining the brain and we start letting it know that we're safe, it will, and this is completely random. So everybody's experience really varies quite a bit, but you will have these nights where all of a sudden you're alert, hyperarousal kicks in, and all of a sudden it's very confusing why we're not sleeping, or even possibly have a sleepless night. Again, like I said, this is completely normal. I consider it this, or view it as the brain's last ditch efforts to check in with us and make sure that we are safe. And so, what do we do then? Well, pretty simple, right? We've understood this, that it feels that there's fear, a perceived fear. So, when these opportunities come along, what we need to do is befriend wakefulness. I know we've talked about this before, and it isn't the most enjoyable feeling or sensation. But again, if we go through the night and we reassure the subconscious that we are safe, then we will tend to pretty quickly go back to sleeping well and having these better sleep for either days or weeks. But you'll tend to have, like in my case as well, I had regular speed bumps that came along, and again, it could be days or weeks apart, or maybe even months apart. I go through sleeping relatively well, and then setback comes, and I feel disheartened. I don't have much of a fear response anymore. That's absolutely wonderful. I feel calm and relaxed most of the time while awake late at night, but I'd like to know how maybe not to overreact. Not to overreact because when I started looking at this and seeing it as an opportunity that things were actually improving, I was already showing signs of sleeping well. This wasn't a setback. Then I actually started looking forward to these speed bumps because it was a sign that I was getting better. So as a speed bump comes along, it really all is really more important about how we respond or how we react at night or even the following day. So if we see it as this is part of our recovery, this is part of the process for us to um, continue to teach the brain that we're safe and to show it that we're safe, then our views on it are definitely going to change. It's going to be a lot less disappointing and less heartbreaking, like you mentioned. So, what's interesting is when we truly get to a point of seeing this as an opportunity to get better, you will start in a way looking forward to these speed bumps. Now, I say this because this happened with me, and I've had several calls with people where they have the same approach. They genuinely don't feel the same type of fear or hyper arousal, and they start thinking or looking forward to the next speed bump because they know that's part of the recovery process. So I remember when I truly understood this, I started looking forward to my next speed bump, and it was interesting because it really never came back. And I've had this happen with other people that I've talked to when they said, it's been weeks, it's been months, and I still haven't had a speed bump. What's wrong? I'm trying to get better. And so when I asked them, well, are you sleeping well? I was like, yeah, I'm sleeping great. So this is the approach we definitely want to take when we're in the struggle. So again, number one, befriending wakefulness, right? Number two, understand that everything is fine. This is an opportunity, and how we respond is really much more important. And the last thing I would definitely like to add, and it is so critical, is self-kindness and patience, right? During this time, we're so tired of this insomnia. We just want to move on. But implementing this self-kindness and patience really helps to reassure the subconscious that not only are we safe, but we're being kind and gentle with ourselves. We're not going through an emotional battle or an internal struggle to make things more difficult. So anything else that we have to do, here's the great thing about it. You don't have to do anything else. You're already doing it. So as speed bump comes along, just go ahead and think about this once again. You're getting better. You're doing great, as a matter of fact. This is an opportunity for you to continue to reassure your brain that you're safe, implement self-kindness and patience, because that's always, always a plus. And the last thing is you don't have to do anything else. And I promise you, in every single case, it goes, it passes. And so definitely something to look forward to. So Petra, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for this, for your question. And I hope this was helpful for you and for anybody else that's listening. So speed bumps, definitely start looking forward to them and even embrace them, because this is an opportunity to recognize that we're actually getting better. We're actually getting through it. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Be kind, be patient with yourselves. The struggle, it can definitely be difficult, but we will get through it. So thank you again. Have a wonderful week. Goodbye.
Hi there, Coach Dial here, and I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the video that you just saw. If you are finding yourself thinking a lot about what your life would be like if you weren't struggling with sleep, if you had bandwidth for everything else in life that you want to do, if you felt like yourself again, if you didn't even give the night a second thought, well, then I have news for you. Leaving the struggle is actually so much easier than we often think. Everything that you need truly is out here on our channel in our free content. The one thing that can be tricky, though, is that sometimes you don't really see where you are not contextualizing the teachings to yourself. And what also can be tricky is that it can feel a bit lonely and isolating to leave the struggle on your own. If this applies to you, then head over to thesleepcoachschool.com, because we have programs where you can join a community of people that are leaving the struggle, which is led by coaches who have already done so. And so if this, again, sounds like something you'd be interested in, head over to our website, thesleepcoachschool.com, and check out our Insomnia Immunity program. And if you decide to join, we can't wait to see you on the other side.